the most ridiculous roller coaster of my life. I would be in my car listening to a portion of the book and screaming, Daryl, you're an idiot. What were you thinking? Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Woody. Here we are talking about books, we're talking about fitness, finance, and everything that has to do with personal development. Guys, we're on spring break finally. If you do not know, I work at a school. I am an athletic director, and today was the last day of school. As an athletic director, it is not the last day. I have a track meet that is away right now. Tomorrow there's a baseball game, so technically, mentally, I can shut off tomorrow around 5 p.m. when the boys are back in Boston. But I'm really excited to finally get to a point where we're just fully at rest. The last school break we had, I spent half of it in Panama with the senior class. I loved it, absolutely loved it, to get paid to lead a trip with seniors and just learn about a different country, explore all of that stuff. It's great, but there wasn't a lot of rest. And I guess I had 2 days later after the break to kind of rest, but I didn't get to explore, go out, do anything like that. And when I say go out, I mean maybe go to a coffee shop or just go out for a walk. It was February break, and then that weekend was a snowstorm. So there was no going outside, kind of hunkered down at home. So I'm really excited for April break, where I do have a lot of plans. I have quite a to-do list, but I'm just excited for the opportunity to be outside, maybe go for walks, maybe go for a hike. That is my dream for April break, but I do have quite a lot of things to do. So we'll just see where that plays out. And so, yeah, we are on break. I have my iPad here. So if I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at my iPad because I take notes, and that's how we do things. We're not trying to memorize everything up here. I have just too much going on up there for that. So, yes, like I mentioned, I have a list of things that I want to do and accomplish for this upcoming week, but I don't want to overwhelm myself. So I made sure to write my entire list down. And the game plan then for this weekend is to kind of put them in order by priorities and kind of make chunks of time throughout the week and really schedule out my day. One is because I don't want my day to get too busy, but I also don't want to think I have enough time the next day to accomplish a task. So we'll go over that. Another thing is, next week is our first book club back for a long time. I actually don't know the last time we met as a book club. I want to say maybe January, February. It seems like a long time ago, but we are meeting for the first time, and we are reading the book Blood Orange by J.M. Cannon. I know nothing about it. Nothing. It's like a thriller, murder, mystery. I don't know, but I have a week to finish it. I have it on audiobook on Hoopla, which is great. So I'm going to be listening to that for the next few days or so. So that's going to be the next book. I finished Morningstar by Pierce Brown maybe a week and a half ago. Listen, since finishing that book, I have not found any source of encouragement to re-listen to any other book. That book took me through the most ridiculous roller coaster of my life. I would be in my car listening to a portion of the book and screaming, Daryl, you're an idiot. What were you thinking? I was crying in my car on the way to work. And so that book was so great. It took me through all of the emotions, and it was beautiful, tied it up in the bow. Love it. And of course, I forgot that this is not a trilogy. On the book itself, it does say 3-part series or whatever, but it's one of 6 books. And apparently there's a 7th book coming out. So I definitely know the 3 other books. They are on Hoopla. I'm really excited for them. I forget which one's the next one. I'll put it up here. But I do plan on listening to those after Blood Orange. I don't plan on finishing them for a break. I highly doubt that. But I do know that I probably will get through one at least for the break. So those are going to be the 2 books I will tackle this break. Will be the Blood Orange by J.M. Cannon, and then the 4th book now in this Red Rising series. Just so good. I don't know, how did I get into this? My pastor, so my young adult pastor, found out that I was really into fantasy, sci-fi, because I love Star Wars, Star Trek, all of that. And he's like, oh, have you heard of Red Rising? No. And so I started reading, and I was like, what is this world? And so I really enjoy it. I've liked the storyline. I love the characters. I love Darrow's such an like interesting character to me, and his trajectory from book 1 to book 3 and all his like monologues that he has is like he's literally the speeches that he comes up with just breathtaking, and it's just a story throughout the entire series. And so if basically Red Rising is a kind of like an outer space, outer world. That's where it kind of takes place. There are hierarchies. And so essentially, red is the bottom of the barrel, and gold is the highest of the hierarchy. And of course, the gold does not want anyone, taking over at all. And then there's a rebellion, and the rebellion kind of recruits Darrow and turns him basically into a gold to take over the golds. And so you go through all of that in book 1, 2, 3. There's all these wars, there's death, there's pain, there's betrayal. Oh my goodness, it's just great. And there is romance in it as well, but that doesn't really take over the book, but it's there. Actually, let me take that back. I wouldn't say it doesn't take over the book. It actually is an essential part of the book, especially Darrow's loves and things like that. So if you are interested in sci-fi, fantasy, all that stuff, I would say Red Rising is one of them. It's definitely hard for me. When I first read it, I had to reread a lot of the pages because I couldn't understand like the imagery of it. I couldn't comprehend it in my brain. I love to read books and like kind of imagine the story in my head so it can play out accordingly. And for Red Rising, it took some time, and it took a lot of like book art for me to realize, okay, what does it look like when Darrow is here, or when Darrow was with the gold, or where the like locations were, anything regarding the wars, what did it actually look like? So that took some time for me to get through because it's just a different world, different aspects, equipment, weaponry, all that stuff. So Red Rising, though, it's a great book by Pierce Brown. Definitely read it. I'm going to see how this Blood Orange goes. We shall see. Okay, let's dive into fitness. That's another part of my YouTube channel that I really want to dive into, is just sharing more of like my fitness journey, fitness tips. I do a lot of home workouts. And then another thing about my fitness journey is I am studying for my NASM test. At the end of this break, I will actually be taking my test. So today is Friday, so I have 1 week to take the test, and I'm spending the last week just finishing up my studying. I read through the book, so this is my second time completing the test. I did it a few years ago, early 2020s, and I just allowed my certification to kind of lapse after I finished it, and then I was just working full time. I decided not to train anymore because of timing, and now I'm kind of in the middle of this like journey of slowly becoming debt free. That is my goal. And because of that, I am attempting to find ways to increase my income. I was able to actually negotiate an increase in income for my full-time job, which I'm really happy about. Key for that, guys, is definitely jot down everything you have done for your letter of agreement or whatever you have, a contract, whatever it may be. And then if you've done anything more on top of that. So for me, I made sure to analyze the last 5 school years now, because this is my 5th school year. So 5 school years of what I have accomplished, what I have done. I really analyzed my contract too. What are words that were missing or things that were not clear, that they were either having me do or asked of me. And I continue to do them, but just making sure there's clarity around that. And so I was able to kind of negotiate, send HR my information of like, okay, this is what I think I am owed, or I'm owed a little bit more because of XYZ. Listed all out, described everything. I didn't leave anything out. And then they came back and were able to give me a raise. So that was amazing. That's not the first time I negotiated as well. And I also, in my past jobs I've also negotiated. I always think the worst thing they can do is say no. And because at the end of the day, as much as I love my job and the people I work with are so kind, so nice, and they're driven people, that doesn't mean they care individually about people, right? They don't know the ins and outs of my life. They don't know what I'm trying to accomplish. They don't know my struggles. And at the end of the day, I'm just an employee. So I do want to make sure I take care of myself and put myself first. So yeah, I negotiated a lot for next year, and I'm really excited for it because I'm excited to just do my job and do it well and do it in the capacity that I can. And I know that I have some health issues that I need to deal with. So I wasn't trying to do more than what my contract stated and do more than what I can handle. I'm growing the department. And so, with that being said, I'm not trying to overdo my life. It is important that I handle what I need to handle. We're going to take a little break for tea, guys. This is another thing I'm excited for the break. It's just having time to drink tea and to sit on a couch without feeling rushed, that you have to answer an email, you have to complete a task, you have to run to a game, you have to, get officials, you have to get first aid, like AED, transportation. Like, I just am okay. Like, do we have the money? What is the budget? Like, I'm so okay and not trying to think about all these things I constantly have to think about in one day. Just all of those tasks. Like, I just wish sometimes you can just sit and don't worry about anything, and the day will come and the day will go, and I'm okay with that, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna take another sip. And then specifically, the tea that I drink is organic India, and this is ashwagandha tea. I have been drinking it for the last year now, I want to say. I've been drinking ashwagandha specifically because I did get like a diagnosis of hyperthyroidism, and so it doesn't really help having the job that I have and the hours that I work. And the next thing I'm going to tell you is going to be like, why are you doing that? But just calming tea. So I drink ashwagandha, lemon balm. I no longer drink coffee. I either drink green tea or I make a matcha at home. Those are the only things I consume. Water as well. I stopped drinking. I am gluten free now. All of those things. So just all these little things I have done and changed. And even during the break, we're gonna go hard in the tea. And there's manuka honey in that too. So really like that. Okay, back to our conversation, guys. Okay, so like I said, we're studying for our NASM and we're getting ready for that test. So throughout the week, I'll have testing blocks with that. Okay, so why am I doing this? So again, I want to increase my income. I talked about already how I increased my income at my full-time job. I then picked up a part-time job at Orange Theory because I really don't have to go into work until later in the morning for Monday through Friday. So normally I get to work around 9:30. I made the choice of picking up a part-time job at Orange Theory. The reason for that is because I want to become a coach or a trainer, and I want to use my certification to make extra income. So I got a job at Orange Theory, letting them know like, hey, I am studying for my NASM. I do hope to also be a coach. I work 3 days a week. I'm open for them. The first class is at 5 a.m., so I have to be there at 4:30. Yes, that is crazy, but listen, my nighttime routines and bedtimes have never been better. Reason for that is because I need to go to bed. I can't sleep at like 11:30 and think I'm going to be okay. So since I have to wake up around 3 o'clock, I am in bed literally by 7:30, 8 o'clock. Everything is shutting down. Lights, tea is ready to go, and I'm in bed by 8. And it feels so good. So maybe my body falls asleep around like 8:30, 45, 9 o'clock the latest, right? And so I noticed that over time, as I've been working at this job, my habits have just been so much better. I already started prepping my food for over a year now. I do that every Saturday. I prep my food for the week. And because of that now, I have food prep ready to go. So yes, I wake up early, but I get to pack my lunch easily because it's ready to go. I make my matcha the night before and I put it in the fridge, pack it all, go to Orange Theory, and then from there I go to my full-time job. Yes, it is a lot. And I have goals for my financing. That is the end goal, is to really take care of my debt. And that's the next thing, is talking about my financing. And that's what I'm going to be focused on during this spring break, is really like, okay, what is the game plan? What is the structure I have to follow? What are things I can slowly minimize? I realize that I have done a really great job of eliminating a lot of just small little purchases or subscriptions I no longer need, and really getting to the bare minimum and not just impulse buying when the check comes. So, like, for example, I was like out of pens for work, and I was looking all over my desk for my pens, and I was like, okay, I'm really out. So I just bought $10 worth of pens and call it a day. That's all I bought personally from my check. Everything else went to debt, went to bills, all of that stuff. So the goal for my finance is to continue to tackle my debt. During this week of break, I have to go through my February, my March, and part of April's financing and go through just like what did I purchase, what did I buy, the monies, weeks in, weeks out. I really just want to get a calculation of purchases and calculation of how much was spent in those months and how much was saved, all of those things. March was a little bit crazy when it came to my debt and my savings. I really took a good chunk of my savings to put towards my debt. I have a credit card with a really high interest. And so because of that, I really need to take care of it. Right now, the balance is really low, which I'm really happy about, but I just need to tackle the rest of it. So the goal for the month of, where are we, April, is to actually finish it off. And then I have a secondary credit card that has 0% interest. It was a transfer balance credit card. And so that is the next on the list. And because, yes, it's zero balance, I just want to take care of it. The moment I decide, let me just put it aside and not look at it, not think about it, let me take care of other things, that's when I'm going to find myself in trouble. So that is my financing goal. Really just handle the credit card debt this month. Focus on the high interest one in the credit card. Look at the credit card with a 0% interest, that's the balance transfer, and see how I can take care of that. Right now, I just have to pay like $95 a month. That is the minimum payment. You have to pay that for a balance transfer in order for you to continue to have the 0% interest for the year or whatever. So I'm going to make sure I continue to do that. And that's kind of it for financing. And now personal development, the goal this week is to get 8+ hours of sleep. I know that when work arises, that's just not the case, but it is vacation, and 8+ can look like maybe 7, 8 at night. I might get an hour nap. Like, we're napping during the day now. Before, that wasn't the case. We couldn't nap during the day, and I'm really excited to finally nap. So napping is going to be part of that. So rest and movement. I'm going to continue to work out. Because of my Orange Theory schedule, I'll probably work out Monday, and I can work out Wednesday, Thursday now because I'm not working at Orange Theory on Thursday. They don't have me on the schedule. Normally I work Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. This upcoming week I just work Tuesday, but I have a longer shift compared to what I normally have. And then I work Saturday. So I have more days to move. The plan is to possibly do a run outside for the first time in a long time. A run outside, maybe a trail walk, and then lifting a little bit heavier. So I haven't been lifting heavy. I just been doing my dumbbell workouts. At most 25 pounds each dumbbell is like the weight I have here. My boyfriend has a gym, and so I'm going to work out in his garage gym during the week, which will be really exciting because like it's just an empty house and it's just me with weights. So I'm really excited for that. And then another part of my personal development that I really want to start getting into this week is learning a little bit more about investing. So that's, of course, goes back to my financing. I really didn't grow up learning about investments. I learned about saving, I learned about credit cards, I learned about credit, but I didn't learn anything about investments and 401k or 403b because that's what I have. And I really want to do a deep dive into that. I do have a book about investing that I read maybe 4 years ago now. And of course, I don't remember a lot of the information in the book. And the goal is to kind of dive deeper into investing, maybe watch some videos, read some articles, and just get a better sense of what I need to do to continue to grow and to understand money better. And then the last thing is, I want to know a little bit more about politics and government. I feel that we are in a place where we just need to know more. We need to understand more. We need to understand the concepts, the thoughts, the history, and everything. And I feel like I know bits and pieces to kind of understand where we are today. I want to have a better grasp on everything. So that's kind of the gist of what we're doing here this week, what I'm excited for, especially the reading, especially the moving and the sleeping, guys. I really can't wait for that. So just a couple of things. We're just going to go through the list of things that I have to do this week for spring break. I think I have about 15 to-do list. So we'll see how that goes. So 1, clean my car. Dear Lord, it is a hot mess. So I'm excited to just clear things out. There is a car wash down the street from me, and you can clean your car too. It has everything. So I'm going to go down there, do that. My car is due for an oil change. So we're going to go ahead and get that done. I have to fix something under my car. It's not anything serious. So I have all the parts for it, and I got to go to get that serviced. Next thing is declutter. I have to declutter my kitchen cabinets and donate and throw away some clothes. We're going to see how that goes. I know there are places where you can recycle your clothes. I have to see if that's even possible here. So we'll see that. Next thing, we talked about it already. Need to study for my NASM. I want to go see 2 new coffee shops I haven't been to before. And so that's the game plan, is to maybe, if they have space, study, work in those coffee shops. But I want to explore them. Maybe twice next week will be my only times I actually go to a coffee spot and get a matcha. I really try to make my matcha at home to save me money. Because I drink matcha every single day, so I'm not trying to go to a coffee shop every single day. That does add up. It's not like a once a week thing. But next week, 2 coffee shops just to try it out, see it, find a new venue, all of that stuff. Next, I talked about it already, lift heavy, maybe run. I'm trying to run twice this upcoming week, so let's see if I am able to get that done. Little break for tea. That's good. Okay, so lift heavy, run 2 times a week. Okay, the next thing is going to be, I want to post more on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I feel that I have a lot in my mind I want to share, and just, create an opportunity for people to feel welcome and feel heard. And I think that the things that I love to talk about, or just, live through, I feel other people can connect, right? A lot of people can connect about books, the books that we're reading, the books that we love and enjoy, the books that we just want to dive into and explore that type of world. A lot of people are also going through fitness journeys and trying to work out and trying to find ways to work out better, more efficiently, in a way that's smarter. And that is what I have been doing, is I've been working out. I've been understanding fitness in general, understanding anatomy, physiology. And that's what I have studied. That's what I've learned. And I want to share those tips out, as well as financing. There are so many people going through their debt journey. I have been in a rabbit hole of watching videos about debt journeys and understanding credit card debt and learning tips and tricks of how to continue to grow out of that. And because I'm someone who is going through their own debt journey, I know that people can relate to that. And then personal development as a whole, caring for your body and understanding what you need to do to grow, learn, and advance your intellect is something that I want to share. So those are things that I kind of want to continue to grow into, to talk about, and to share. Next thing on my to-do list is not facials, like go get my facial, but I really want to do a better job with my skincare. It has been quick and simple, in and out, just because of time. But I have a lot of face masks that I got for Christmas, and I really want to take time to sit down, drink some tea, have my face mask, do all that stuff, and then go heavy on my red light therapy. I know there is a structure for red light therapy. It's not like an everyday thing. I have to look into that a little bit more, but I have a red light therapy, very small, nothing intense, but it does the job. And then my boyfriend also has a panel. So the plan is to use the one here at my place, once or twice a week, and use my boyfriend's for another 2 times. So maybe 4 times from now until I go back to school for therapy sessions, red light therapy sessions. Again, we're going to continue to eat clean. That's next on my list. I have been doing such a great job eating just really good food, whole foods, cooking for myself, not really eating out. I don't do DoorDash anymore. I don't pick up food. My boyfriend and I will sometimes have food out. So we'll go out to dinner, things like that. But we're not a fast food place. We're not Chick-fil-A, Domino's, none of that. We don't do any of that stuff. So it's really nice that we're taking care of our bodies and just eating clean. Another thing I talked about, sleep. We're going to do that. We're going to sleep 8 hours plus, hopefully. Next thing that I have to do, so I've talked about this before, is I have been looking into just more ways of increasing my income. And one of them, and one of the ways I've been trying to do that is just learn different skill sets to allow myself to grow. And two of those skill sets, one of them being UGC and the other one being high ticket sales. So I really did a deep dive and I did some programs and things like that of learning those skills. The goal for UGC is I plan to do a bunch of pitching this upcoming week. I did cancel my bento. I had it for a while, and for the last month and a half, I just had no time to really pitch. I just didn't have it. And so this upcoming week, the goal is just to create a template that can work and just pitch and create campaigns for the upcoming month. From there, I think I only get 20 pitches a month when you're just down to the free program. And for me, that's fine. That's okay. But I just couldn't see myself continuing paying for bento when I couldn't get anything really out of it and I wasn't using it. So we have UGC pitching, and then for high ticket sales, I have 20 jobs already listed out that I'm going to apply for this upcoming week. Yes, you're like, where do you have the time? So for high ticket sales, there are options of being a phone setter, a DM setter, essentially someone who speaks to an individual who is interested in a program. For myself, there are DM setter positions that I'm really looking into. And so that's kind of like my avenue. That's where I'm kind of going towards to really dive into that. And with high ticket sales too, this upcoming week, the goal is to do a couple more role plays. So the girls in the program that I'm part of, they have, role play days. They send out their calendars. So I plan to send out my calendar just to get an idea of how many people I can get role plays with. I also have an AI that I role play with as well, and I can practice. So we'll do that. I have all the products to make a blanket. Last year, I made a blanket. I'm going to grab it actually. So last year, I made this blanket. Actually, last year around this time for spring break, we made this. I just have more material so that way I can make another blanket. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then lastly, there's two in this. I want to make sure I read 1 hour every day. I have been reading One Dark Window for the longest time, and it's not because I don't like it. I have been enjoying it, but I have not had any time. I've been working, sleeping, working, and so for this upcoming week, I hope to finish it and maybe get through another one of my Kindle Unlimited books. I wanted to delete my subscription for Kindle Unlimited for a very long time, and that has not happened because I've just taken too long to read through these books. So 1 hour of reading my Kindle, physical books, whatever it may be. And then lastly, this is so important, and this is definitely number one, is because of the time I have, there is no excuse for not spending time with the Lord. And that is going to be my top priority, is having devotional, intentional time with God and spending moments with Him in prayer, in worship. And I'm really excited for that. I just got the goosebumps. I'm really excited for that because I feel that I give Him little by little. Yes, I pray in my car on my way to work. I'm listening to the Word of God every day through my Bible app, but intentional time to sit with no rush, no plans. Give it to me. Give it all to me. So I'm really excited for that. And also to the last day of break, that Saturday of next week, our church is doing a worship night. So I'll be going to that as well. And just really taking the time to pray, to read the word, to worship, to just be still, to hear His voice. That is what I'm most excited for. So that is my game plan for spring break. I'm really excited for it. And then when I get back, what I'm really excited for is that I have about a month until I am done with my senior class. So I teach like a kind of like a reiteration of anatomy physiology. It's like overall health. And then I sprinkle anatomy physiology in for fourth quarter. And I teach it to seniors. And it is the hardest time right now to teach to seniors. They don't want to be there. They don't care. But yet they still need to have these grades and these credits to graduate. So that's where we are with class. But that is all I have. And I'm really excited for this journey. For this is Q2 for me, right? I am feeling rejuvenated. I am feeling determined to really set my goals and set my eyes on what it is I need to do to accomplish all the things that need to get done. So we're going to see how all of that goes. And yeah, I'm really excited just to talk through things with you guys and to see where my bookish goals go, my TBR goals, my fitness goals. Like, what does that look like? Sharing with you some tips regarding fitness and nutrition and overall wellness. And then, of course, my debt free journey, talking more about that as a whole. So, I think when I go through my budget and go through what happened in February and March and parts of April, I really want to share that out and just talk through my debt journey and, just get an idea like, what is everyone also doing? How is your debt journey or your finance journey or investment journey? All of those things. So that's all I have, guys. I'm going to finish my tea. I'm going to take a nap and then relax for the rest of the night. Maybe read a book and just get excited for spring break. Excited just for a week with no kids, no one calling your name 50 times, no one asking about money, no one asking about transportation, no one asking about a game schedule. I'm okay. I'm okay. Until next time, guys. Bye.